Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here. So artificial intelligence. So nowadays, this is a topic of intense interest. So let me ask you a question first. How many of you have used ChatGPT to generate new tasks? Just raise your hands. Great, a lot of hands raised. So as you know, ChatGPT is a type of generative AI or Gen AI, which can generate new content. So in my research, I ask a very big question like, can we use generative AI to address the most fundamental questions in science and humanity? So take drug discovery as an example. So this process has been notoriously slow and expensive with an extremely low success rate. So it takes about $1 billion and more than 1 decade to bring just one single successful drug to the market. So can we revolutionize this process using generative AI? So traditionally, chemists just keep looking for molecules and see if they can perform as a drug. So this process is going to be painstakingly slow because they have to sift through millions of molecules. So imagine instead if we can magically create the molecule that we really need. So that's why I'm here to share with you my journey about don't look, just create. So in my research, we developed the most advanced generative AI methodologies to create small molecules and their 3D structures such that they can bind to a protein target of interest. So our method can facilitate the generation of atoms and their precise locations within the binding pocket. And we also generate the bonds that connect these atoms together. So this is a generation process from our Gen AI technology. So in this particular example, a molecule is generated to bind to an enzyme produced by CDK6 gene. So this gene is closely related to multiple cancers such as leukemia, lymphoma, or carcinoma. So molecules that bind to this gene exhibit very significant therapeutic promise as CDK6 inhibitors and potentially offer treatments for these cancers. So it takes our generation method about a second to generate this molecule, plus another 3 days to train the generative AI model. So compared to the traditional method, which can take months, our method offers a significant reduction in time and resources, potentially revolutionizing how drugs are developed. So this is the molecule that we generated, and compared to the molecule that is approved by FDA as a drug for this gene. So our molecule actually exhibit properties that are closely resembling those as you observed from FDA-approved drugs. So that means our method has a good potential to produce very promising medication. But as you see here, our molecule is significantly simpler, indicating that it could be easier to synthesize. But more importantly, our molecule can bind to CDK6 with even higher binding affinity, indicating it could have even better efficacy. So you may wonder, oh, it's generated, but can you really make them real, or they just exist in the AI fiction? So actually, typically, chemists will look for some ways to synthesize this molecule, and they always have a difficulty to find the best molecule or the best way to synthesize the molecule. But given generative AI, here we have a different solution. So let's take a look at this molecule, mavacamten, which is approved by FDA for treating hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So our generative AI method can accurately generate the patented synthetic reaction for making this molecule. But at the same time, we can offer you more options which are also viable. That means we can give you more opportunities to really simplify and expedite the synthesis process. So in this example, we use 2 smaller molecules to make the final molecule. But you may wonder, what happens if even these 2 smaller molecules don't exist? So in this case, we have to devise a sequence of reactions to make all the intermediate molecules until we get to the final molecule. So one way to do that is we start from all the commercially available molecules and try different configurations until we get there. But our chemists suggest a different solution or a different strategy. So that is, we start from the final molecule that we want to make, and we look at which bonds are breakable during reactions, and we go from there and work backward. So given this piece of information, we were able to come up with a totally different and totally new idea on how generative AI can do the job compared to anything existing in the literature. So that's why all the fruition of my research owes everything to such interdisciplinary collaboration. So in my team, we have AI experts who lead the development of the most advanced AI technologies, but we have chemists who give us the chemical knowledge to guide such development, and we have data scientists who give us the insights gleaned from the data. So by combining different ideas and different methods, we can really speed up the innovation. In the future, our aspiration is to develop generative AI method which can design personalized drugs for each individual patient. And hopefully those drugs can be manufactured efficiently and economically so that it can be used to cure the disease. And our endeavor is to develop generative AI as a trustworthy tool such that they can help us foster more scientific innovations and enhance the well-being of humanity. Thank you.